If you want to check out a cool aquaponics project that's going to be low to no maintenance, uh, with some cool Madaka fish and some super nano fireball platies, you might want to stay in tune for this channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Ask any questions you might have. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what's your experience with aquaponics. I'd definitely like to know and get your insight. Um, yeah, we're gonna do aquaponics, but we're gonna do a different type. And this tank is super stable. This is the tank that I experimented with. I basically took a twist on the Wallstead technique, which is basically a ecosystem tank where it you may want to make it low to no maintenance. When I say low to no maintenance, I mean we're not doing none of that cleaning the gravel at the bottom because there is no gravel. On a Wallstead tank, the basic Wallstead tank is that you have soil, potting soil in the bottom that you screened, and you cap it with some sand. And you put plants in it, and then you create an ecosystem like that by adding microfauna and, of course, your fish, and that completes the circle with other things like maybe those caridina shrimp, neocaridina shrimp, which are basically like little micro shrimp. Super dope. All types of colors and styles. If you don't know about them, you might want to check into them. I warn you though, if you get into dealing with fish, it can be addicting. I started with a jar, and now I have 3 tanks. Excuse me. But this tank right here is a ecosystem that runs itself. The Yeah, you don't even got to feed it, really. There's no cleaning the bottom because on the bottom we have nothing but leaf litter. There's no sand, there's no soil, there's none of that. I just took a bunch of leaves, or I let a bunch of leaves blow into the tank from, because I had the tank sitting outside. Add a little bit of water, you know what I'm saying? Then it rained, it added some water. It snowed, that added some water. Let it sit, everything got waterlogged. Went to a creek, got a little bit of water in there with, let that sit. If you're not familiar with the resurrection jar style, that's where you take a jar, you let it sit for a while in the windowsill, preferably not in direct sunlight, and you just see what kind of organisms grow out of there. Preferably no like super predators because you eventually want to put fish in the tank, right? So I let that sit and saw all the dope organisms, little small little jumpers, you know what I'm saying, all over. But the things that's not gonna ever come out of your water, right? Small microorganisms, things that complete a food chain in your tank, right? The things that'll clean up the detritus. This is why we don't got to clean. The tank cleans itself. It maintains itself, and it creates its own food. You see the algae on the plants. The fish go to town on them. They eat them. They love them. A lot of people, they grow these aquariums. They want them to be super clean and stuff like that. Well, algae plays a part in nature. So why are you trying to wipe it all out? You know what I'm saying? But I digress. So this ecosystem is rock solid. I checked the nitrites on it. They're at 0. I checked the nitrates on it. It's at 0. The But there's still algae growing. So I know we'll be getting some good things off of our tomato plant that will be growing. Uh, yeah, we're starting off with something as simple as this. We're just gonna take this right here, get my camera to steady, drop in some cocoa coir into this, wet up, stuff it up, stuff a seed in there, and then just let that bad boy float in here. You might be wondering what those are. Those are nothing but breeding mops for my badakas. So they just basically drop their seeds on the they drop their their eggs on those mops. I put them in that net to keep the babies kind of safe. I don't even know if you can see them in there. You can see a couple babies swimming, maybe. Yeah, I think you can see them. Can you get them on camera? Yeah, so the babies are in there. They're breathing up. Look at how big Mama is. Look at Big Bertha. All them eggs up under her belly. Woo! Damn, you can't see her in the light. Look at them eggs. Boy, oh boy. That's about like 30 a piece. That's like about 30 a piece. I mean, about like 30 eggs in a clutch. I'm telling you, there are eggs all over this tank. But yeah, so we're just gonna take that, float that in the tank, and see what she pulls out. It's gonna be something different, something new. So we got fish in the tank. We have the plant directly in the directly in the tank, growing our tomato. And I'm in a place where we're compliant to grow tomatoes. For now, I'm just gonna keep saying tomatoes, but we know what we're talking about, right? So anyway, so if you're into stuff like that and experimenting, this will be a big experiment. I love your input. I love to take advice. So yeah, join along, subscribe again, and like, leave a comment. Let us know where you're from. Oh shit! Look at this. I think we got a moonwalking snail. Yeah, a moonwalker. Yeah, but yeah, this should be fun. Join along. You could also check out the fish. I'll be sure to put plenty of footage of them. I think if there was more aquariums up, people would be less stressed. Sometimes I just sit here and I just get caught up and I just be staring at the fish. Trust me, your old lady is not gonna like it. But again, you know what I'm saying? Join me on this mission. Uh Love to get any input from y'all. You think I'm gonna fail? You think I'll succeed? What's your thoughts? I think it's gonna be a hit. Even though I'm testing the water, I'm not seeing anything, but the water stays rock solid. I've done deep water culture before, and I've had, you know what I'm saying, I've ran a super sterile deep water culture, and I was successful for a couple runs, and then I ran into what some of you might be familiar with, which is root rot, and that was an experience. I had to learn about the Heisenberg tea and all that other stuff, and that's what led me to come down this route, because the Heisenberg tea, if none of y'all are familiar with that, that's basically a compost tea, and you stick your plants in that bucket, and you you run your hydroponics that way. So instead of doing sterile, you do it with beneficial bacteria, which eats away anything that would cause root rot. So I'm figuring in this tank there should be beneficial bacteria. There should be beneficial bacteria. And that should not only feed the tomatoes better, the plants better, it should keep away any root rot. It should keep away any root rot. And as far as oxygenation, we have a back of the tank filter. So there's like light oxygen. That's one thing I might be a little bit concerned about. But I also have on the bottom of the on the bottom of that puck that I showed you that'll be floating, there's a mini air gap, so there might be some oxygen right there. Like I said, it's going to be a big experiment. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little experiment, depending on how far we go. Because, yeah, but just tune in, see what it is. The tank is rock solid again. You know what I'm saying? I've done all the tests on it, even though it was showing it was marvelous. Just want to make sure that if anybody asks for the information, I have it. Because I also have this tank on another channel where it's just about nothing but fish and experimenting with the creating ecosystems that run themselves. You don't have to do anything to support them. The only issue I'm gonna have is that it's running so good that it's producing life like a motherfucker. Like the ram's horn snails are going crazy. The the Madaka are breeding like crazy. I'm waiting to see what the platies do. I'm pretty sure there's babies in here hiding already. I found some Medaka babies hiding because, again, I put these little mops out here, but they've been laying eggs all over the tank, all over this hornwort. So I expect there's going to be an explosion of small fish in here. Right now, we started with 12 Medakas and 10 super dwarf teacup fireball platies. 10 pink ram's horn snails, 10 pink pearl ram's horn snails, and had 10 Neocaridina red fire shrimp. Um, Lost 3 of them because I had them in the jar and I was waiting for some things to come through. But now they're in the tank and they look like they're healthy, but I haven't seen them in a while. They pop up from time to time, but I'm pretty sure if they're seeing each other, they're breeding. So yeah. So we started from there, and I'm telling you, it's already an explosion of the pink pearl ram's horn snails. An explosion of the Medakas. Like the babies there. I'm telling you, there's gonna be like thousands of babies here, and I'm really not joking. I'm seeing eggs everywhere. Yeah. So again, stay tuned. Easy, and it is.